Picture this moment clearly. Your toddler comes running toward you in tears, overwhelmed. Maybe they tripped while playing. Maybe something they loved suddenly broke and shattered. Or maybe they're overwhelmed and don't even understand why something feels wrong inside. All they know is something feels wrong, and instinctively they come running to you. At that exact moment, you are busy. The food on the stove needs your attention. Your phone vibrates. Your body feels tired. Your mind is already completely full right now. So you respond quickly and almost automatically. You're okay. It's not a big deal. You tell them to go play, and they listen. They wipe their tears and walk away. The situation ends quickly, and inside you, a small wave of relief quietly washes over. You didn't need to pause everything or sit and walk through those big emotions together. It felt simple, efficient. And it's important to say, there is nothing wrong with you. That feeling of relief is deeply human. Every single parent has experienced this same moment. But what matters is not just what happened in that moment. It's what it teaches. That small, ordinary interaction may feel insignificant, but it is one of very many. Children do not learn from isolated moments. They learn from repeated patterns over time. These patterns slowly shape how children understand emotions, relationships, and human connection. If those moments repeat, the child absorbs a powerful message deep inside themselves. The message becomes, when I show how I feel, the people I love step back. So it feels safer not to show feelings at all. This is how emotional distance begins. This distance doesn't come from big dramatic events or from parents who don't care. It comes from small, repeated, everyday interactions that quietly send the same message repeatedly. Before we look at specific habits, it's important to understand how a child's brain develops. Once you understand brain development, everything else about these patterns starts to make sense. In the early years of life, a child's brain is growing at an extraordinary rate. Scientists discovered that over 1 million neural connections are formed every single second. The strongest influence on how those connections develop is the caregiver-child interaction daily. There is a simple concept used to describe this process. It is called serve and return. When your child cries, reaches for you, or runs toward you upset, that is the serve. When you respond with attention, warmth, and emotional presence, that is the return. These back and forth interactions happen hundreds of times each day, shaping your child's brain. Here is the most important part. The brain builds itself based on repeated patterns, not single events. One distracted moment will not harm your child. One difficult day defines absolutely nothing. But when emotional expressions are repeatedly met with dismissal, the child's brain begins to adapt. The brain learns something very clear. Reaching out for comfort may not work, so stop. It becomes safer to stop reaching out. Children adapt. If something doesn't work, they adjust. Instead of expressing emotions, they begin managing feelings entirely alone and internally. They become quieter, more independent, and much easier to handle around the house. And often that behavior is praised. She's so independent. He's so mature. They're so easy. But beneath that calm behavior, a deeper pattern is quietly forming below the surface. The child is not becoming independent from confidence. They are independent from necessity instead. Over time, that pattern becomes part of how they see themselves and their whole identity. A different response can completely change this pattern and reshape what the child learns. When your child comes to you upset, you don't need to fix the situation immediately. You don't need perfect words. Simply acknowledge their feeling and stay physically close to them. You might say, "You're really upset right now, and I am here." That is enough. Your presence, calm, patient, and accepting, is exactly what their nervous system needs. When this happens consistently, your child learns, when I show feelings, I am not alone. Another pattern that often develops is encouraging independence too early with good intentions. Many parents want their children to be strong and capable, and these are good intentions. So they encourage children to handle difficult things entirely on their own without support. But emotional regulation is not something children are born with. It develops over time, gradually. It develops through repeated experiences of first being comforted by someone else before self-soothing. When a child is expected to calm themselves without support, they may suppress emotions instead. They appear independent, but that independence is rooted in adaptation, not genuine confidence. Children need co-regulation before they can self-regulate. They need your help through emotions first. Your calm voice, your steady presence, your patience. These help their nervous system settle down. Over time, they internalize this and develop real, genuine emotional control that truly lasts. Even after they calm down, the way you respond to them still matters greatly. Instead of saying, "See, you didn't need me," try something that validates the connection instead. Say instead, "You were really upset, and you let me help you. I'm glad you came." This teaches them that asking for help is not weakness. It is something positive and safe. There is also a very subtle pattern that can have a surprisingly strong and lasting impact. Sometimes parents wait until a child is calmed down before offering any comfort or connection. The intention may be to avoid reinforcing emotional reactions and inadvertent rewards for big feelings. But what the child actually learns is, connection comes only after I hide my feelings. They begin suppressing emotions quickly in order to reconnect with the people they love. Over time, they may struggle to express vulnerability in real time with real people. They learn to deal with everything internally first, then present a calm version of themselves. A more supportive approach is to move toward your child while they are still upset. Sit with them, stay present, offer comfort in the middle of the emotion, not after. This teaches them they do not need to be okay to receive love and full support. Another important pattern to notice is when and how you show the most warmth to your child. Many parents naturally feel more relaxed when their child is calm, happy, and easy to be around. But when the child is upset or demanding, that warmth may decrease slightly without awareness. Children notice this, not consciously, but through their body and nervous system every time. They begin to associate love and connection with being easy, calm, and low maintenance. So they adapt. They present the version of themselves that receives the most positive response. They hide the parts that feel messy or overwhelming, presenting only the acceptable surface self. But those hidden parts do not disappear. They stay beneath the surface and reappear later. To shift this pattern, show warmth especially during moments of vulnerability and emotional difficulty. When your child shares something difficult or asks for help, respond with real attention and care. Let them feel that all parts of them are welcome, not just the easy, pleasant parts. Children also learn by watching you. They will learn more from what you do than say. If they never see you express emotions or ask for help, they may believe strong people do everything alone. You don't need to share adult burdens, but you can model healthy emotional behavior for children. You might say, "I had a hard day today, so I'm going to talk to someone about it." Or say, "This is difficult. I am going to ask for help." Modeling that connection is normal. This shows your child that needing support is completely normal and part of being fully human. It teaches them that connection is fundamentally part of what it means to be human. Over time, all of these small moments come together. They form patterns that truly matter. These patterns shape how your child understands relationships throughout the rest of their entire life. The goal is not to be perfect. No parent gets it right every single time. What matters is consistency. Your child's brain is not looking for perfection, it seeks patterns. The most important pattern you can build is simple. When your child reaches out, you respond. When they are struggling, you stay. When they show all parts of themselves, you accept them. These patterns are built in everyday moments, the small, ordinary interactions that often go unnoticed. The way you respond when your child cries, the way you handle their need for comfort, the way you show up when they are vulnerable. These are the moments that matter most. These moments may seem small, but they are shaping how your child will connect with others forever. The beautiful part is this: once you become aware, you have the power to gently shift things. You don't need to change everything overnight. Even one small change can begin a new pattern. Pausing, staying present, choosing connection. Any one of these can begin to reshape everything. Over time, that new pattern becomes the foundation your child builds all their relationships upon. Because in the end, the most important parenting work does not happen in big, dramatic events. It happens in the quiet, everyday moments, when your child reaches out and you choose to come closer.